man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish the story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Good morning. What's up? It's Sunday football morning. It's your boy, Coach Lee. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Inside Show. We do every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You know the rest. But appreciate y'all hanging out with the boys today. As always, we get the insights of the NFL games today from a fantasy side, from a you're a betting person, picks and things like that. But we do it all. Before we get started, got to bring my man in from the Northeast, my fellow Cowboy brother. What's up, Two? How you doing this morning?
Let's go. I am excited. I am ecstatic. I am and all ready for this Sunday. I hope everybody is too, man. You know what it is. Week 10.
Oh, definitely. Week 10. Yep.
It's getting real.
How's your evening? I know you was watching the
Evening was great. You know,
the ground and pound last night.
Watched some USC last night. Shout out to the Tap Out, podcast. We did earlier yesterday in regards to the USC 281. A lot of interesting things that happened last night. A great end to it as we've seen Izzy not be Izzy anymore, man. And hey, that's what happens when you tread water too long. You right. Fall and they find an opponent to take your throne, to take your title. But overall, it was a great pay-per-view. Other than that, man, just chilled. Did some drinking, some Don Julio. Shout out to Don Julio, man. I don't usually go with the light liquor, man. It was going down smooth last night.
Well, glad you had a good time.
How was your Saturday?
My Saturday was tight, man. Chilled yesterday, hung out with the little ones, and went on date night last night to watch Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dropped my kids off at the movies yesterday. There was a lot of people dressed up, ready for Wakanda, man. I'm gonna see it.
Had a blast
on the week, man. I don't want to be in the movie theater where there's 1,000 people watching the movie.
Right. That's good, man.
So at the end of the day, man, shout out to Wakanda.
Appreciate you, man. So, yeah, man, let's hop into this because people be watching up until damn near kick out trying to set their rosters. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us like you do every Sunday morning. First category today, we got the injury updates. Got quite a few significant injuries. The first one, he's returning. Kenny Galladay's expected to play today. And according to the Giants, they're supposed to get some significant playing time. I'm not buying that considering how his tenure with the Giants has gone thus far. How you feeling about that, too?
I can see significant time. I mean, the Giants have been ding-donged when it comes to the wide receiver position. So to Galladay on the team, he probably lost value, but in terms of who they have, he gains value. And they have to see what type of value he does have, because eventually they're going to have to shred that contract. That contract was a bad contract. He did ball in Detroit, but we got to remember where he was. Shout out to him, though, getting the bag. But at the same time, I feel the Giants definitely could use the services. If not time right now, they have to start getting that game clicking somewhat passing-wise. And I feel like him coming today, he will see significant time because of who they have. Not because they want to do it, but because he's on the roster. You got to put him out
there. Fair enough. Not too significant, but with the injury history of Tua, Teddy Bridgewater with the knee injury is expected to be out this week.
I could be 50-50, Tua's injury earlier in the season, doesn't help that case. And they're playing against Cleveland Browns today. And I'm not saying Myles Garrett would hit Tua with a helmet, but he's going to try to come to him today. And that defense is going to try to attack Tua today. That should be a great game between Miami and Cleveland.
Agreed, man. Definitely a game to watch this week. This next one, man, it's not injury related, but more of status related. Brandon Cooks is expected to play for Week 10 versus the Giants. This one's a little bit troubling. I know he was upset because he didn't have a chance to get traded at the trade deadline a couple of weeks ago. He didn't play last week against Philadelphia. And then I got up this morning and I saw they have since also stripped him of his captain title. That's kind of jacked up, man.
No, it definitely is jacked up, but at the end of the day, put it together. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be part of the team. He wanted to be traded. They didn't do nothing for him. But now, definitely taking the C off, you add more friction to it, but it's already friction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the definition of a captain eyes, though, a lot of former captains, wanted out. For that time being, you are a captain to your team. You know what I'm saying? That's how important you are to the team. And Brandon Cooks feels like he's just done. He's just done with it. He wanted to be in a situation. But it's the thing about it. Brandon's a great player.
Right.
But for him to be potentially babied into a situation where it was helping another team flourish and win, for all the losses that the Texans have gone through, do you think they really care about moving Brandon Cooks?
No. And actually, I have to question them as a whole anyway. This is the same organization, that traded Hopkins for nothing. The same organization that had all the the ups and downs with the stuff going on with Watson. The same organization that held on to JJ Watt too late, and almost the way he left, considering what all he's done for the organization, was kind of borderline disrespectful. And the same organization that allowed, I think was that Bill O'Brien, that was the coach before that. He pretty much set this franchise back probably 10, 15 years, just on personnel decisions and whatnot. And then they brought the one coach in, fired him after 1 year, which I didn't get that, considering you left them with nothing. And then, you kind of got lucky that Lovey came in, but I'm a Lovey fan, man, for the stuff he did in Chicago, obviously. It's Texas native. So, I'm a little bit biased towards him, but I think they set him up for failure next. So this is just an organization, man. It just seems like they're just in total disarray. I don't know how to approach it.
It's kind of a crazy situation in all, and they should have just let them go. But the Texans are just so much into their own things that they don't even. It's sad that they don't even care. And I'm not saying you're supposed to care about people in general, but this is a player that's a veteran guy. You should have made the necessary changes and even your trade package for him to just get rid of him. And you wanted all this money. You wanted all this for him. For what? To create aggravation? Yep. And then taking the C off is just going to throw it all in the trash, man. I wouldn't even play him for the rest of the season if I was there. But then they don't want to see nobody else gain. And that's kind of
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Very much so.
Now Brandon's unhappy. I wouldn't want to be unhappy going to my job. It's crazy.
So Kyler Murray, he's supposed to test his hamstring pregame, but just in case he's not ready to go, Colt McCoy is ready to start.
Yeah, start Colt today. You don't fly to that hamstring, and I think Kyler knows that. Yeah, they'll test it and all that,
and that's part of his game too.
Yeah, don't they play? They play the Rams today, correct?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they play the Rams today, and yeah, fantasy owners that's on the show today. Yeah, you might want to go pick up somebody else. That game's too late for me. I had Kyler Murray in 2 leagues that I'm playing in. I had to adjust. I can't wait for 425. I mean, I could, but you know, yeah, when they testing your hamstring and doing all that, yeah, they're gonna late scratch him. The Rams are late scratching Matthew Stafford, who we're gonna talk about next. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So I mean, it's only right, you know what I'm saying? You go sit Kyle out, man. Let the backups play in this game today.
Battle of the backups, as they say.
Yeah.
Stafford. So, what actually is his injury that's going on? They say
There was a
concussion.
They said he had a concussion, and they said he was put in protocol on, I believe, Wednesday.
Man.
Yeah, so I don't see him getting on. The middle of the week is tough, you know, for a person to be on any type of report, you know, especially with a concussion. So I definitely don't think Matthew Stafford will be playing today. They'll be going to their backup today. And yeah, we're gonna see a battle with the backups for third in the NFC West. So yeah, it's gonna
As a side note with that, you know, this has been a rough year for the Rams. They won the Super Bowl last year. They traded a lot of their draft assets away in order to accomplish that goal last year. Stafford's long in the tooth. They don't have a foreseeable replacement yet. How long do you think it's going to take them to rebound? And do you think it was worth it?
And all Matthew Stafford? I mean, to get what you want, you know, some things are warranted. But overall, in the scheme of their team and what they could be in the next 10 years, I think, you know, that's the question that will be answered. You know what I'm saying? You know, teams like LA teams, you know, they want to spend big money on teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it only can go for so long before it comes back to bite you. You know, go knock over there, you know, with the Lakers. You know, they sold everything to get Anthony Davis to go get a ring. You know, to try to increase LeBron's championship rings. But at the same time, then you deal with being 2-10 to start this season, and nothing's happening. The Rams are kind of, you know, right now trying to get through those bumps. But in the NFL, you got to be real careful too, because the same thing you did to create this type of team, there's a few other teams, you know, taking your intake, you know, copying you, mimicking you, and doing the same thing. So windows only open for a short amount of time.
Fair enough. Elijah Mitchell is being he got activated yesterday. You know, to kind of help out San Francisco, who a lot of people still have, you know, as like the second, third, or fourth best team in the NFC. How much of a boost is that going to be for them? Because he hadn't played since week 1 when he went out with a knee injury.
It's a boost for him. You know what I'm saying? Just got to stay healthy. And yeah, to help Christian McCaffrey, definitely. Christian McCaffrey, you don't got to have a lot of the bulk on him. You know what I'm saying? Turn around. I mean, they got Deebo Samuel's going to do his thing too, you know, on that end. But in all, you know, you need people like that. You need as many great plays as you can around Jimmy Garoppolo to make that team look like it's supposed to look. You know, you don't want that engine being drove by only Jimmy and forcing Jimmy to have to deliver and do things. You know, they rely a lot on these position players. You know, they're kind of backwards because you try to rely on the QB and then these guys increment and work. But yeah, when you're relying on your position players first to be held before the quarterback, and these players that they have are injury prone. Deebo's injury prone. Christian McCaffrey's injury prone. They're all injury prone. They just lost Nick Burnett last week to Achilles injury. You know, so yeah, they just got to stay healthy.
I can definitely agree with that. Speaking of stay healthy, long-term effects, Josh Allen is set to be on the field today against Minnesota. First, two-part question. Do you think it's worth him coming back? And also, now that it's been deemed that he will start today, do you think he's going to be impactful on the game today? From a positive standpoint.
oh, he's going to be an impact on the field, rather he balls or doesn't ball. It's going to be a huge impact because we've been trying to predict all week what type of injury it is or how he's feeling. We wouldn't say the type of injury because we know what it is. Yeah, they invested too much in this man. And this is why this man's on the field. Well, let me scratch that. The reason why he's on the field playing is because there's no room for a breather. There's no room to relax. They're in the course of a race now in the AFC East. You know,
2 teams right behind, a game behind.
And this was how it was supposed to be projected. And Buffalo was, 3-4 games, ahead. Then you can sit Josh. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But can't sit him right now when you can go from being a top seed to potentially not playing, even a wild card situation if Josh Allen's really hurt and he can't play, to not being in the playoffs at all if the Jets in Miami play good and if the Patriots can keep schooling teams that can't really get their system. So it's kind of a crazy situation. Then on top of the money, then on top of this Josh Allen being himself, but we look at the reality of it. This injury could affect him permanently if anything is to happen, which we pray it doesn't. They wasn't looking in Miami Dolphins book, though. We're going to say that. But they probably was looking in Miami's book because they're kind of doing the same thing right now, pitting Josh Allen at risk.
Yeah, definitely possibly putting him in harm's way.
Yeah,
he can go from an injury where he maybe, rest up by 2 or 3 weeks to it can cause significant additional damage where he's done for the season.
Yes, definitely. So that means there's gonna be a lot of fugazi stuff going on in terms of their offense. That running game's gonna have to turn up, and I don't think they have the players to turn up.
It covered his bear.
It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out.
Agreed.
And the Vikings today too. Vikings is on that chase trying to breeze through. So yeah, Josh Allen, though he definitely probably wanted to play today, I don't think it was all the way his decision for him to be on the field today.
I would agree. Definitely would agree. This one impacts you and I as fans of America's team, but Zeke, he's a true game time decision with the knee injury. Similar to the previous question concerning Josh Allen, do you think it's worth taking a risk with him? Do you think Dallas will take the risk with him?
No, it's no risk. Right here, this is simply Dallas has to get the value in Zeke. So him being hurt right now, you don't want that. People talking about, rather this is Zeke's last year now in Dallas, But if it is for sure his last year, you want to at least have him somewhat healthy, so that a suitor, will be somewhat happy. But in all, based on last year and the way they played him, they heavily trust Tony Pollard now, which is a big boost from last year because they didn't trust Tony Pollard enough that they kept Zeke on the field to play. I think that they trust Tony Pollard enough to have Zeke sit out these few games because if everything goes smooth the rest of the season, we got to get ready for playoff time, and in the playoffs, teams are going to run the football. We're going to definitely need a second running back to help Tony Pollard run the football. And that's the story right now. Zeke's hurt. Don't force him back. Don't rush him back. You already had to do that with one player this year. Don't do it to 2.
Definitely. Minka Fitzpatrick has been ruled out in the Week 10 game against the Saints. They get TJ Watt back, but they lose Minka. When's the last time you saw a Steelers team that was this underwhelming?
Damn, probably. I don't even know. That's crazy. That's crazy to hear because you just see this franchise, overcome a lot of odds year by year. Right. And like I said, you can't throw everything under the rug, because eventually there's no room under the rug. And I think that's the issue with Pittsburgh right now. A lot of things they was able to get away with, because they're a small organization. But overall, even a small organization is going to have to take their bumps and bruises and their downfall seasons. And Pittsburgh is living in that reality right now. Right. QB positions still question mark, but I feel like Pickett, during the offseason will work on it. You know, the offensive line is terrible. You know, can't blame Najee Harris for anything happening this season. He's still coming to work every day.
That's true.
And just some things get old. Some things you can't beat with a drum no more. You know, and it's not their fault. It's just the way things work sometimes. They had an awesome organization. This organization had 2 cornerstones that acted like fools. They got rid of them and was still relevant. You don't get things like that in a sport like this. And that wasn't Pittsburgh's fault that Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell acted the way they acted. But they went through that storm. The umbrella broke. And there's no store around right now. So they got to get money for a new one. New car, whatever the case is. Good morning, Jamie. How you doing? So that's how I take on it. You know, Pittsburgh's just in a patch right now because they need to rebuild. Construction will help it. And they're constructing right now, I feel.
Do you think Coach Tomlin survives this? I think he should.
He definitely should. And I have no reason to even throw him in the hot seat right now. But as the young guys start playing, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of younger guys now. And the wave of the NFL moves, you can kind of see that. But if Tomlin's able to say, if he not fired anything this year, next year get on the boost and get rolling, you know what I'm saying? He can save his job.
Right.
Zeke, Latavius Murray, or Claypool, PPR flex. I'm going to go today in the opportunity stage. I'm going to go Chase Claypool.
Yep.
Against Miami's defense. We know their defense is atrocious. You know, going to throw you. Oh, no, hold on. Sorry. Claypool, they're playing Miami, wrong team. They're playing the Lions, which is an even easier, way for him to get some touchdowns. Yeah, I'm still going Chase Claypool, against the Lions. Sorry for that hiccup. Same
here, man. I definitely, we just spoke earlier. Zeke possibly is going to be out today. Latavius Murray, no, not supposed to offensive set. But Claypool, he's a new tour in Chicago. So you got a chance to, especially off the monster game that Fields had last week, they're going to be looking to expand that offense possibly. And he's going to be a critical part of that.
They definitely are. Speaking of NFL, man, we got NFL on this morning. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you got your fantasy lineups for Seattle and Tampa Bay right now. 3:09 left in the third. Seattle is moving in Tampa Bay territory in the red zone at the 9 right now. Score is 14-3 Tampa.
Okay. Seattle trying to hang in there, man. Kudos to them. I saw this already, some rumblings of that Geno could possibly be the quarterback going forward. And they're talking about, contract extensions. You think it's too early for that?
It's weird because we've seen guys like Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, seen a bunch of guys, be able to get some money and still be able to start. I can't overlook Geno Smith, and I'm not going to overlook these guys still being professional NFL quarterbacks. Geno Smith has earned his stripes this year.
Yes, he has.
I want to see how capital and draft stock and all that comes about in the offseason. Because if they're not going to go look for a QB, then, hey, keep the man, He's going to listen to what you say. He's going to come out there and play football. He's going to go out there and perform. He's not going to give you no extra entertainment stars. He's not going to give you rush feelings. None of that. He's a regular guy, playing in the NFL. He's not a superstar. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's not a Pro Bowler. He's a guy that just comes to work. And from what I see, he's a great guy in the Seattle locker room. We see him get punched years ago, but that was the young Geno. That was the young Geno getting drafted where he was at, getting Silent Rock Nation and thinking like, as everybody's going to do, the world's behind you. You rule the world. But, he's got to reality. He's enhanced and fixed some mistakes. So, shout out to Geno Smith, man. But if the Seattle Seahawks are serious about that, I don't think it should be talked about it. They're talking about it right now where the season is a happy place. You know, maybe after this game against Tampa Bay, maybe you'd be talking a little bit different. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it is.
Definitely is what it is. You know, just I know we mentioned it on a couple of our shows. You know, Geno Smith as possibly the comeback player of the year. But just looking at the impressive stuff he's done, man, he's second in the league in completion percentage at 73.1. He is sixth in the league in total yards. Passing yards, 2,199. And he is third in the league in quarterback rating at a 107.2. And he's in front of the likes of, the Patty Mahomes, the Joe Burrow, the Josh Allens. That's a pretty impressive stats he's putting up this year.
Yep, definitely impressive, and there's no pressure on him like that. Geno just fumbled in the end zone. That's what I'm hearing. Haven't got the full update on my phone, but somebody just told me that Geno just fumbled in the end zone. Shout out to Facebook.
We jinxed him, man.
Hey, it's not even the jinx, man. It's just reality. Like, in this world now, you get a lot of, in this world in general in life, you know what I'm saying? There's times where you're down and you may be down and then you get your ups. Geno's at an up right now. You got to take advantage of the ups, you know what I'm saying, and take whatever comes with that.
Right.
I'm not going to say, I called it, but, playing against Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, you have those AFC East vibes. You was never able to beat him then. So, yeah, they had their playbook designed for Geno today. This is, and shout out to Geno on this one too. They're focusing the game plan to stop Geno. That's what we need to be happy. Look at the game. Like if we was saying this year or in July or June or whatever that Geno Smith will be doing this right now, jokes.
Definitely. We got Deebo Samuel. He actually practiced, had a full practice on Friday. He's expected to be a full participant in the game today. That's a big joke, man. I don't think he and Kristen have played together yet, have they?
I think I don't think so. I don't think they have.
So this should be interesting, to see how this offense can be unlocked.
It could be unlocked. It definitely, and this is the reason why they signed McCaffrey. But at the same time, you're banking on players to be healthy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing right there. And then when you make these decisions to go get great players who are injury prone, all you think is up. Like, this player is going to help our team. Maybe save some lax off him. But eventually, in the situation they're in, we mentioned earlier, that the position players are first, second, and third, and fourth on the team. Then the QB. When you're in a situation like that, that's a problem. It can only overcome itself for some time. They were able to do it last year, and maybe they do it this year, but it's going to be a lot to do it 2 years in a row doing that. Becoming hot, becoming healthy, and then winning.
Definitely. I'm on these next two. I'm gonna put them together because they're playing in the same game. But Samuel Watkins had a knee injury, was cleared to play for Week 10 against the Cowboys, and Alan Lazard, his shoulder injury, he's on track to play for Sunday. So Rodgers getting two of his wide receivers back. I don't know the impact that Watkins could have because he hadn't been who we thought he was going to be, coming out of Clemson. But Lazard coming, being healthy, that can be a both of them.
That can be both of them. Both of these moves, they need everything right now. Like I mentioned a few years ago, we played Green Bay in a playoff game in Dallas. The young Dak. Dak was struggling a little bit early, got them to come back, this and that. I felt like there was one possession, no bull, one possession. And football teams usually don't do this, but I feel like there was one possession in that game where we most needed it, that Tony Romo should have been in the game as quarterback. And to me, I said, in order to be the best team, one of the best teams, you have to use all the guys on your roster for certain situations.
Right.
They didn't do it, and the Cowboys end up losing on the Matt Crosby field goal. But this is what I say. You got these guys today, and they're able to play them. If your problem is wide receiver position, and you got to play them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Al Lazard this week's going to stick out and play. This is why Shane Walker's going to stick out and play this week, because these guys have to have Aaron Rodgers back. They have to have him. You know what I'm saying? Watched some tape last week. That game. The wide receivers are just looking crazy. I mean, overall bad look on Aaron too, because Aaron has a little bit to do with that. You can't unmotivate your players and then expect them to be motivated. It just doesn't happen like that. I'm hearing the frustration in the locker room, the Packers locker room, because of Aaron and what he spurs in the media weekly. Maybe in Aaron's mind is to, hype him up, but this is a new generation, a new era. These guys are hurt by words. Can't say things like that on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because people hear it, flip it, and even if they don't flip it, because Aaron's being direct, he's not he's not missing any words. He's saying exactly what he's saying. He's being real. Nowadays, words hurt you. Sticks and stones still, but words hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to you, Jamie. Yes, every player prospers in certain situations. You have to turn to place and succeed sometimes, right?
Yeah, and there's rumblings already up there of players in that locker room saying, Jordan Love can probably start on a lot of other teams right now. So that's their passive aggressive way of saying we're ready for a change.
Right, and this too, and this is the thing too. How about if Aaron starts just playing poorly today? Do you hear Jordan Love rumbles in Green Bay today for him to play? It's gonna be a long football day, man. It's not even 12 o'clock Eastern time yet, and a lot of questions are gonna be, not answered right away. These football games are all gonna be exciting today. They all got a story.
Adam Thielen, his ankle injury, he's cleared to play for Week 10. That's a big blow for them, going up against Buffalo.
Yep, going against that defense. You need that. Defense. Though I think Osborne is going to intrigue at some point as a second receiver.
True. Mark Ingram is ruled out for Week 10 with a knee injury. San Francisco. New Orleans is this injury bug kind of hit him this year. And it puts all the weight on Kamara. And I've always said Kamara is he's a Swiss Army knife, man. If you count on him to carry the ball, 25, to touch the ball 25, 30 times a game, that's a bit excessive for him. I don't know if his body can take that type of pounding.
Right, all day, definitely. It's a mystery. And in this situation too, with this comment, it's a mystery because we don't know. Aaron physically himself didn't want this guy on the field. So that can tell you one of two things. Either this guy can really do the thing, and everything we just seen from him has just been jitters because he's not out there, or for the NFL's sake, Aaron's just telling you that he's trash and there's no reason to hype him.
Right.
It's very difficult when you have a Hall of Famer QB on the team for years trying to get him out. It's hard.
Yep, damn right, impossible.
And the Raiders doing what they've been doing in the last few years, they might want to think, if they ever think to do that, to double think that, because you don't want another mistake in your organization. But great intake, great, mine, always, I call them conspiracy theories. It can always be a great conspiracy theory. They'll never let nobody say different.
And speaking of conspiracy theories, Matt Ryan will back up Sam Ellinger today. And as Jeff Saturday makes his head coaching debut, it's so dynamic, it's just weird.
It is weird. But they have a good plate to eat today because on the other side is not that much different. Josh McDaniel, I've been hearing through rumor mill that if the Raiders lose this game today to Jeff Saturday, there's going to be an early Black Friday football axe available while supplies last.
You know what? I'm picking them too.
Picking the Colts?
Yes.
Colts, pick the Colts, man. You know, hopefully Sam Ellinger can hold up enough, or they take him out early enough so that Matt Ryan can play. But either way, I think the Colts are going to win this game.
Nail in the coffin. There's too much pressure on the Raiders. Pressure on the team. Pressure on the quarterback.
Hold on. This gets funny here. Josh McDaniel, didn't he accept the coach job? Wasn't that the first job he accepted?
And turned it down? Man, I forgot about that.
Burn Josh McDaniel's ass down today because that's as petty can be. And I hope the Colts and I just hope Las Vegas loses for that too, man. I thought in my mind, like,
I completely forgot about that.
He was the demise. If anything, he's the reason why Indy's like this. Hold on. They hired him with a good Andrew Luck. You made Andrew Luck retire because Andrew Luck retired shortly after that. Yeah. They're playing the curse today. The voodoo is going to be there today. Get rid of the voodoo.
Yep. Damian Pierce, chest and shoulder, he was cleared for week 10 to participate. He's probably been, he's definitely been obviously one of the most impressive rookie runners, but he's been one of the most impressive runners in the NFL period this year. He ran hard against Philadelphia, man. He actually, I think, in my opinion, not just because it's Philadelphia, I think he beat that defense up. Even though they took the L, he wore that defense out.
He wore that defense out. He definitely did. You know what I'm saying? And not only because he played for the Texans and they probably their best player, but yeah, he showed the NFL that there is a Achilles heel amongst that Philadelphia Eagles defense, though they are spectacular.
Right. Tannehill is officially questionable for week 10. That's nothing new there. Aaron Jones has no injury designation. So he's good to go.
Of course he doesn't. They're paying him too much.
Get out there and run.
Get out there and run. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Williams has been ruled out for week 10. Yeah. That's kind of jacked up, man. David Bakhtiari, knee injury. He's questionable for week 10. They just beat up. Yeah, I'm not going to look past it. Trap game.
Can't look past this, man. Can't look past this. The molded cheeseheads, you know what I'm saying, are ready to roll. Dak, I expect a good performance today.
I do as well, my friend. And that's a look at the injury updates. We're going to take our first break this morning. We're going to come back and hit you over top of the head with the start 'em and sit 'em. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us this morning. Y'all hold tight. We'll be back shortly.
Let's get it.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Delvin Breaux here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
And we're back just like that.
What up?
I'll let your boy.
3. Tampa up 21-3. Tom Brady short to Chris Wilder for 4 yards for the touchdown. After Geno Smith pulls some baloney on the other side. This may be the start of normalized Seattle. Who are not going to discredit them because that Bucs defense is pretty good.
Yes, they are. And that's a good segue because the first starter of the week at the quarterback position is Tom Brady.
Man, hey. There's reasons, man. Seems like the divorce and talk
Hook
on
'em up.
back in the mind now. You know, every person, you know, when they go through that situation, their mental's all messed up.
Right.
You know? But hey, that light switch come back on, better be scared. And if anybody's light switch come on, and y'all better be scared, it's Tom Brady's behind, man. Man, that offense, there was one possession I watched before we kicked off here. Looked like Tom old. Everything was being just thrown. Everybody was catching balls. They moving down the field. Defense was getting headaches. You had defense yelling at each other. Yeah. When Tom Brady started making you do those type of things,
He back.
you know some signs that he ain't lost it yet. I'm not gonna say he back because I hope he ain't. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing his thing.
Yes, he is. Quarterbacks to start. Let's take a look at them in the batches. We got Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, and Geno Smith.
Well, we see one of them's bust. You know what I'm saying? See one of them's bust of the week, man. My inside starter, man. I expect Justin Fields to continue this success. I can tell you, it kind of reminds me of, and not record-wise, but it kind of reminds me of the hump of Jalen Hurts last year when there was still the Bengals in the locker room or about him, and then he's winning games. And that's all Justin Fields got to do. And you might not win games, but you got to go out there and just perform. And that's what Justin Fields has been doing the last few weeks. I feel like, you know, they're starting to get the trash out of Chicago in terms of players that don't want to be there. And you're going to start seeing more of a Justin Fields-oriented thing going on there. So I expect him against the Detroit Lions to ball out. You know, in terms of Dak Prescott and Tua, you know, these games today are heavily trapped games. And got to be mindful of that. But both QBs should still get a rocket.
Agreed. Totally agree. Sleepers. We got Jimmy G, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff. I only see one sleeper on there, in my opinion. It's Jimmy G going up against the Chargers because Lawrence is facing Kansas City, and Goff is Goff.
I can see Goff. I can see this Detroit Bears game being like one of those games that one of like the game a couple weeks ago with Carolina and Atlanta. I can see that type of affair. Justin Fields is Diet Lamar. Oh my God, what an insult, what an insult, what an insult. The disrespect. Hey, that Lamar drink's pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't have the diet one, but that's probably pretty good too for the people who drink it.
Right. Okay, I'm locked in. I tried sharing a podcast. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the podcast.
Yeah, we're getting little things over here to talk about the streaming issues within Facebook, but I was able to stream the page. I was able to stream the show a couple minutes ago. So I'm usually able to share it like before the show starts, but for some reason it just wasn't popping up on the feeds today. But now it's popping up for anybody that looking to tune in, anybody looking to share, should be popping up if you go on the Sports Soccer Friends podcast page or the Sports Soccer Friends group. You should be able to get the post, copy the link, and then put it into a post, and then there you go. And
also go to the STWF YouTube page. You can share it from there as well.
Yes, sir. You can share it there.
Appreciate the support.
Definitely. Get your Sunday fuming, man.
Quarterbacks to sit: Aaron Rodgers, Andy Dalton, Derek Uscar, and Daniel Jones.
I had to pick up Kyler Murray, as I mentioned earlier, may not play in one of my leagues. I looked at QBs to pick today, and guess who was sitting at the top? The free agent wire.
Carr?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I had to take the Bentley for the week of a rental to see if it drive right. You know what I'm saying? So,
fair enough.
I had to, man. And I'm like, man, they play my team today. I don't want them to do good, but at the same time, it's fantasy. And if Aaron Rodgers had a good game today and he's on the pitch and like, this may be his best game all year. Who knows? You know, it's like, so I'm looking at that intake. But no, I hope Dallas smashes them. You know, but woo.
Just to give you some insight, Dallas's defense is giving up 14.3 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks.
I'm gonna be real. I only need like 14 to 20.
That's enough as long as they take that L, huh?
I only need 14 to 20. You know what I'm saying? Just give me like a Kyler Murray type performance, man. Like, you know, it's not too crazy. I mean, he can't run a ball as effective as Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? You can give me something, Aaron. Facebook user says, start Andy. The Steelers are bad against QBs and passing. And also, Andy Dalton probably played some of his good, better games against Pittsburgh. You know, hey, you could start Andy Dalton. Definitely. Not a bad idea. I'm not going to start him, but maybe, matter of fact, Andy or Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, right.
Well, Andy's going up against Pittsburgh, like they say, who's ranked 28th against opposing quarterbacks.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be an interesting game.
Definitely. Bust alert, Justin Herbert, however you say it.
Yeah, definitely on a bust alert because this game can exploit everything that's going on right now with the Los Angeles Chargers. This dude's going out there with second string, third string guys.
Definitely.
Austin Eckler's gonna have to lead the way, man. What a catastrophe in San Diego. They don't have the goods around Justin Herbert right now to compete, I feel. When we all thought they may have, you know, when the season started. But it's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing to race. This is the third year that he's been on this team. So it's a terrible third year to insight and kind of, you know, when you go back to the table in the offseason, you're going to look at this. You know, there's going to be a lot of people fired and cut and all this and that because of not the development, but the growth of the team.
Agreed. Running backs. Running back to start, you got Cordell Patterson, David Montgomery, Jamal Williams, Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson may be one. You see Philly, you know what I'm saying, letting people bust through the grapevine. I think Chicago will, like Detroit will today, use both of their running backs. I think Montgomery could be effective as well, but you got to remember Hilbert, you know what I'm saying, is not far off. You know, so in that case, here with Cordell Patterson, we see them play the other night. They look like they just used all their running backs over there in Atlanta. Everybody was getting some touch the other day. So that's a kind of a situation. Good thing for Cordell Patterson, though. He just stretches out the offense. So he'll play some tight end position. He'll play some wide receiver. He'll be his takes and hit. So,
and I like David Montgomery because Chicago is the number one running team in the league. They will run the rock, so opportunities will be there.
Definitely. Shout out to Foreman. Shout out to Foreman from Carolina, man.
Yeah.
You know, so many times try to get it opportunity. Finally gets it with Tennessee last year, able to come over here. And then when Christian McCaffrey's gone, now you're number one, and he's taking full advantage of it. Shout out to that man and what he's doing for that Carolina Panthers team.
Yes, he is. Sleepers for this week. We got Jeff Wilson, Rashad White, Jalen Warren, Jerick McKinnon. Any of them do anything for you?
I think Jerick McKinnon can be very valuable today, as well as Jeff Wilson. Definitely could be valuable today. I say the reason for Jerick McKinnon, that Jacksonville game, this could be a game where Kansas City, does all types of different tricks, try to implement different plays that they want to use as the season goes by. Hopefully they don't lose this game. But I feel like Jerick McKinnon, I haven't heard his name in a long time. He usually has one or two of these games where, he excites fantasy owners that own him.
Right. For our running back to sit, Devin Singletary, A.J. Dillon, Darrell Henderson Jr.
I'm just very disappointed that they're sitting A.J. Dillon now. Disappointed. I'm disappointed, and I expected more of this man. Expected a lot of this man. You know,
He's from BC, right?
Yes, and he's not getting it. We're not getting it. When it messed up his mental when they signed Aaron Jones to this contract. It messed up his mental because he was supposed to be the number one coming into the season, and then they gave Aaron Jones that money. So now you're behind Aaron Jones and you feel like you're making that money. Well, guess what? You got to go on the field and prove that you have it.
Yeah, I'll definitely say sit him. No, not just because he's playing Dallas, but just looking at the trends. They are Dallas is second against opponents running back. He projected to get 7.5 points in fantasy outcomes. Also, Dallas has only allowed 3 touchdowns to running backs this season and surrendered the 5th fewest points to opposing running backs for the year. So I think they're going to lean heavily on Jones. Actually, I think it's going to come down to that because I think Dallas is going to try to do the due diligence to not let Rodgers beat him.
Right. Got to.
Bust alert, James Conner. I think this is what, second or third week back from injury?
Ooh, yeah, second or third week. They need this man. They need this man. You know, and they saying to sit him. They saying he's the bust of the week. And we know why that is, though. That man, 99. Come on, man. For the sake of myself. Because I have James Carter in the STWF league. You know, let James Carter at least score a touchdown. Damn, that might not happen because Colt McCoy. Oh man, you might have to send him off. Terrible situation right now going on in Arizona. Kyler Murray injured his hamstring playing video games. It's good.
Trying to get some cheese dudes. For wide receivers, we got Chris Godwin, Juju Smith-Schuster, Josh Palmer, Kristen Kirk, and Jerry Jeudy. I don't think I can trust that Jeudy pick just because of the ineptability of Denver.
I'm going to tell you why to trust it today. I'm going to sit here and tell you guys why you probably I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I think we got to open up on Denver just a little bit as the second half of the season comes and go. You know, I think it was this way. Russ brought a lot of media hype to the team.
Right.
Throughout the season. And the last few weeks, you really haven't heard about him. That kind of needs to be how it sounds and feels. And they have to win games to keep that going. I think today, for some reason, they click. I think Russ is going to let it ride. I think Russ is going to cook. Russ is going to actually, I think during the bye week, Russ has learned to cook a little bit. And it's just going to cook stuff that he knows how to cook. You know, you don't got to cook anything that you don't know how to cook, man. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever you prefer. I think Judy's going to have a good game today.
True said it here first. He's dropping gems.
I'm like, I can't, for all this, man, Russ don't deserve to be playing like this. Nobody does, but he's playing like this. And if anybody I'm going to say go turn around, man, Russ going to turn around. Man, it's crazy, man. We got over here, what we got? Sleepers over here today. We got Rondell Moore from Arizona, Darnell Mooney, Chicago playing Detroit, George Pickens playing against New Orleans defense, Donovan Peoples-Jones against Miami, Darius Slayton of the Giants. Anybody?
Off the bat, I like Slayton.
Like Slayton?
I like Slayton. Even though he's been, you know, in and out. Mooney, for the simple fact he's a Chicago receiver and he runs so much, really can't trust it too much.
Can't trust it too much at all.
Rondell Moore is a viable option. And George Pickens, he's a rookie. Going against New Orleans. So I don't know, the impact that's going to have. rookie receiver going catching pass from a rookie QB.
Mm-hmm.
But I said if I had to pick out of those somebody that I would sit, I think it would have to be Mooney. Just like I said, for the simple fact he plays for the Bears.
I don't trust Pickett in that offense. I should against this New Orleans team, but I'm just gonna off the ground. I say George Pickett only because of the situation, but not because of him as a player.
You think he can get some more targets now that Claypool is gone?
He should be able to, Depends on how the scheme is.
But nothing significant.
Right, exactly. It depends on what Pittsburgh want to draw up and dial up.
I can see that.
Wide receivers to sit. Adam Thielen. Oh my God, this is not good. Leonard Fournette status has changed from healthy to doubtful. I think he must have just left the Tampa Bay Seattle game. Good thing that the game's just about almost over. Adam Thielen, wide receivers to sit. Michael Pittman from the Colts to sit. Curtis Samuel. They say you should sit him too. Allen Robinson as well. Bust alert of the week. Gabe Davis from Buffalo.
Gabe Davis, I think it's got more to do with Josh Allen than it does for Gabe Davis himself.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me, man, But like you said, man, we don't know how Josh Allen's going to be. We know Diggs is going to find his way, So, and then he's playing his old team today. So, you know what I'm saying? You might want to give Diggs rock, but you probably don't want to give Diggs all the rock because of Josh Allen's significant injury, and they're going to be down-toned on that. This is going to be a very interesting game to watch today. It's going to be very interesting to see how Buffalo plays as a team. It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see how the Vikings play in this situation, knowing that this situation is hounding the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
They say this is a potential Super Bowl matchup today. Well, can we see it?
Could be.
Can we see it? No, we ain't going to see it. We can see it today. Regular season.
Two shooting that down.
Regular season. All the way down. No way. No.
Allen Robinson, he doesn't fit in LA. And I think it has more to do with, well, you know what? If Stafford doesn't play today, he might be able to do something because we all know Stafford lifts a cup 99.9% of the time.
Man, whoever's playing for the Rams, the first thing they're gonna say to him, "Give it the cup. Give it the cup."
That's true.
Give it the cup. Give it the cup.
Michael Pittman, he started so promising. I know this is his third year. He started so promising.
There's no doubt be an argument if I was on the show. Cold Saints. Hey,
who is that? Is that Unc?
Is that Unc, man? Do I smell a loss coming today? You know what I mean? Those Saints.
Bring out the bag.
No ball. Hope the Saints win today, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely hope the Saints win today. I actually have them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely. Tight end positions, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the tight ends, man. Tight ends don't get a lot of love, but tight ends start today. Oh, this is a nice name to see. Dalton Schultz and my Cowboys. One of the faves to start, man. Shout out to CBS Sports, for your sitting thoughts. Pat Furman from Pittsburgh playing against New Orleans. We have Greg Dulcich playing against Tennessee, the Denver Broncos. Sleepers, Cade Otton, which is playing right now.
And that guy we were talking about last week and the week before?
Yep, exactly. Still on this list every time. Cole Kmet, though he had the game-winning touchdown last week for Tampa Bay. We got Cole Kmet from the Bears. Tyler Higbee against Arizona. Titans to sit. Robert Tonyan of Green Bay. Unks, man, Taysom Hill from the Saints. Mike Gesicki from Miami. I hate that Mike Gesicki every week's on the sit list. Like, Mike Gesicki is a guy. Like, Tua's going to use him. Man. They're kidding me. Bust alert. Gerald Everett of the Chargers. He's the bust alert of the week. Tight end positions. You got to love him.
Definitely gotta love him. Well, hopefully these start them and set them help you continue to evaluate your rosters. We're gonna take our last break for the day, and of course, one of my favorite parts of the show, the picks.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll be back in about 15, 20. Y'all hold tight.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
And we're back for the last segment, fam. We got our game picks of the week. Like I said before the break, one of my favorite parts of it. So let's hop right into this, brother, too. Obviously, this is kind of weird. I'm looking at some of these expert picks. Seattle at Tampa Bay, which is going on right now. What's the score of that game right now, too?
Score of that game, if we are not mistaken in it is 9-21 Tampa Bay, 4:45 left in the fourth. We see that Seattle is moving the football in Tampa Bay red zone at the 19. So we'll see if Seattle can score, and then they're probably gonna kick an onside and try to make it interesting.
Yeah, like they were saying earlier, I think that trip is beating Seattle up.
Yeah,
that's a long trip, man.
Though I did not have them winning this week, you know what I'm saying? The magic has to end at some point. I had Tampa Bay winning this game, and Tampa Bay should win this game. Bear, there's no mistakes in Germany. Belgian waffle style.
Facts. Minnesota at Buffalo.
This game last week, man. It was on the bet spread while the games were playing last week, and it predicted the spread was 10 for Buffalo. I took Minnesota 10, and I feel very happy about it because, not because Josh Allen get injured, but now they're in position to do that. I'm going to take Minnesota to beat Buffalo today. I have to see how Buffalo played. I got to see how Josh Allen played. It's a big mystery. And I'm not sold on mysteries like that. Usually when there's an injury that people are speculating could be this injury, that injury, Tommy John, all that, that's not good. Sucks that I'm taking Kirk Cousins, but I can't take him next week because they're playing the Cowboys. I'm going to take Minnesota this week to win the game.
And I'm leaning, and it has, I think it's primarily has to do, with the status and the health of Josh Allen. Man, I know in my pick'ems I've picked Buffalo, but I might have to change that to Minnesota just due to all the other things that's going on. The health of Josh Allen, they're playing at home, and I think Minnesota, they are second in the league in record at 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit at Chicago.
Seems like everybody's riding to Chicago because they feel bad that Chicago should be winning games, but should we feel the same way about Detroit? Detroit won last week.
Yeah, they beat Rodgers up.
I'm thinking.
Man, did they beat Rodgers up.
Everybody talking biz, but I'm gonna take the Lions on the road. I'm gonna take my soldiers today. I'm gonna play hater.
I think I'm gonna take Detroit also.
Take Detroit.
Denver
also.
at Tennessee.
Denver at Tennessee. I'm taking. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride, Russ. Let's cook. Russ, let's cook. Go in Denver.
I got Tennessee in this one.
Got Tennessee in this one. I respect it, man. It should be Derrick Henry versus the Broncos, but we got Tennessee and the Broncos.
You might have a point, Jamie, but honestly, beating Green Bay ain't as big as it used to be. Yeah, I think we're seeing it. We are witnessing the end of an era.
No. For this year, it is because you're beating somebody that you've never been able to beat. So it is good for this year case. Now next year, if they beat Green Bay again, now we know it's a problem with Green Bay. This year, yeah, that's a good win. A win against Green Bay for Detroit in any given is good. Just like today, like I mentioned earlier, the Cowboys better win today. I don't care if it's by 2 points, 1 point, or 7. The fact that we're going to Lambeau, the fact that we know the bullshit sniggity that's happened in Lambeau in prior games, yeah, we gotta win at Lambeau today. I don't care if the Packers are 2-49.
True.
They're gonna be respected.
Jacksonville at Kansas City.
I don't expect a hiccup from Kansas City. I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Kansas City as well. Cleveland at Miami. I got the Dolphins in this one.
I'm gonna take Tua, man. Seems like Miami doesn't know how to lose when Tua is playing.
Agreed. Houston at the New York Giants.
Kind of iffy about this game. Real talk. But the Giants, I don't think they completely fall off after what they lost to. Who they lose to? Seattle for the bye. It was Seattle, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants to win today. Though I don't think it's gonna be like a beatdown, but I take the Giants.
I agree with you on the Giants. New Orleans at Pittsburgh.
I'm taking New Orleans Saints.
Saints also.
I'm gonna take the New Orleans Saints today. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna throw it out right now, man. This is more than a group all day. You know what I'm saying? We provide you with different things, but in all, that doesn't even guide to what we are as people, man. So bump in the family, man. Praying for you. Saints picks today is for your fellow wife. We know we don't rock with the Saints over here. You don't rock with the Saints over here, but taking the Saints on the straight that they're gonna go play for her. So go Saints.
No doubts. Indy at the Raiders. The Raiders.
I'm taking Indy. Shut this down, man.
I want to see. Yeah.
I want to see a fire sale, Black Friday early fire sale, Josh McDaniels. And somebody mentioned earlier in the comments that they hope that he don't come to New England, back to New England. Or I think it was in the group on Facebook. So that's
he'll be back. He always got a job there. You and I game of the week. Dallas at Green Bay.
Dallas got to win. And like real talk, I used to say this thing. I should say this about Minnesota too. Like in order for Minnesota to be one of the better teams in their division, they got to beat the team that's been juggernaut in their division forever. In order for Dallas to get by and go through these hurdles that we need to get to, we need to finish past beefs. We need to get those beefs out of the way. Green Bay's big beef.
Yes.
The way they've done us in my lifetime has been atrocious, has been disrespectful, has been heartbreaking, and to a real tear. So I would love to see my Dallas Cowboys dump these guys today, but I'm just looking for a win. Dallas don't win today. We're going to have to evaluate our season. Real talk.
Right. Dallas on his end as well. Arizona at the Rams.
Hold on 1 second before I make my pick. All right, I gotta find out who the Rams started who their backup QB is. Josh Walford. I'm gonna go Colt McCoy and Arizona.
I go with Arizona as well. Chargers at San Francisco.
Sunday night game tonight. Looks primitive for San Francisco to dominate.
San Francisco, I agree as well. And then last game of the week, because we already know that Carolina beat Atlanta on Thursday night. Washington at Philadelphia. Monday night game.
Fly, go fly. They should have no problem going to beat this team. Monday Night Football, though. and good things for them is in Philly. So I don't see anything crazy happening in terms of upset for the Commanders. I don't see the Commanders being Philly.
I don't either. I think Philly goes to with a 9-0 now.
Yep, they're gonna go. They're trying to push, man. But the schedule favors them, you know. So all they have to do is go out there and show up.
Unfortunately, that's the such, sir. Who you got for shout out this week, too?
I want to give a shout out to everybody that's been tuning in to these shows, flooding them this week. I think we had shows just about every day, man. So, you know, shout out to Brad to keep doing it. You know, y'all that probably been wondering where's the Just Basketball show, man. It's been a little confliction on rather scheduling or things in nature, but you know, we'll get that up as soon as we can, man. Basketball's a long season, so you know, we can even start after Christmas and we'll be good. Because the league's not really important right now. But in all, man, I want to give a shout out to the brand. Can't do it without you guys, man, you know. And I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Alex Pereira, man. You know, he shocked a lot of people last night, you know. He made a lot of people some money, and he proved that, you know. And so I was listening to Jake mentioned yesterday, like, you know, how people get overhyped to be in situations they're in. Hey, it's not a reason for overhype. That person who he is. Got tape. Seeing him knock Izzy out, beat Izzy twice, you know. Izzy ain't about that life. So I want to give a shout out to Alex Pereira. And as well, man, bumping the fam, man. Bumping the fam. We praying for you, man. We praying for y'all. You know, y'all ain't tapping, man. I have to post it on my page, man. Set up a GoFundMe. You know, set up a Cash App, you know, best to help him out, you know, hit him up, you know, message him, see if he's okay. You know, you're a big part of the group. Big part of the reason why I'm here in the group. So, again, man, praise with you.
No doubt. I'm going to pick it back off you with that. Shout out to Bump and the fam, man. Definitely with you guys every step of the way. Going to pull through. We're going to look back, and it's going to be a testament of the will of the Most High. Also, you know, shout out to everybody that hung out with us today. Like I said, I don't know what was going on with some of the streaming portion of it. It was just acting quirky this morning, but it is what it is. We're going to fight through it, and we still going to bring y'all some top-notch entertainment. Shout out to Appreciate you hanging out with us in the comments today, man. Shout out to Jamie, Jake as well. Jake, not from State Farm. Shout out to everybody that hung out with us today. Shout out to the fam downstairs waiting for me. Got this breakfast waiting on the big boy. You know, it's time to eat and grub like that. And shout out to my Cowboys in advance. Y'all can get that monkey off your back today. Y'all gonna handle business, and y'all gonna keep pace with these Eagles. And hey, because that everybody got it, circled on their calendar. December 24th. That's when the division will be lost or won.
Mm-hmm. Thank you too, Jamie, for being a consistent supporter in our fantasy teams. Hopefully we do all rock today. You know, everybody can't rock, but us three, you know, me, you, and Coach Lee's teams, hope we rock. And I hope Jake made you breakfast this morning, because he was supposed to make you breakfast, because that Michael Chandler fight, you know what I'm saying, Justin Poirier choked his behind out. So, you know, hopefully Jake made you a good breakfast.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Y'all enjoy cheering for your team today. Good luck to your fantasy team, unless you're playing against me. I hope you take the L. Let's go get it, Cowboys. We see y'all tomorrow night, 7:30 sharp for the play call sheet. We appreciate y'all. Prayers again to Bump in the family.
Take care.